Hey, good morning, everybody. Yeah, I know it's 12:30. It's morning to me. I just got up because I'm on that third shift snow plowing schedule, as you all know. But yeah, the book. I don't know. I'm being pulled along. Now it's back out for redesigning and reset up whatever to fit the Amazon linking. I'm well, you all know how I feel about it, but they keep telling me it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I talked to the publicist yesterday, and she reminded me or attempted to remind me that the company standard is anywhere from 12 to 18 months from the day you hand them the last chapter until the day it's published. I'm not happy with that, as you can imagine, but it's coming. She also reminded me that, I need to keep you guys up to date and start running my own streams, and apparently they want me to actually build the channel. So um, with that in mind, and I'm going to obviously redo this when I'm in a little bit better mood and uh, what have you. But what is it, February 7th? We're looking at almost 50 degrees here this last weekend with the Super Bowl. Um, yeah, it was kind of nice weather out there, but it's cleanup time. I saw what the plows are dragging into my front lawn. Uh, and of course, I've got one, so I'm putting half of it there myself. But there's a whole lot of stuff falling off of cars, apparently, or a whole lot of trash not making it into the trash truck. And for new homeowners, this is a great time because the grass really isn't established. This is a great time to really walk your yard and start looking for stuff that was buried in your yard to be trash. Um, the landscaper and your home builder, um, they're just looking for fill. They'll put anything in the ground to get things up to level. Those are ultimately going to cause you problems later. So you're going to want to be walking around and looking for signs of trash piles and pulling that stuff apart and getting those nuts, bolts, screws, wires, nails, um, two by fours, pop cans, and what have you out of your yard. That stuff will stabilize itself later. Don't overdo it. But remember where that stuff is. The last thing you want to is to be sending something with your lawnmower right through your front window or through your car window or into a neighbor's house. Um, so it's cleanup time, everybody. It's time to really look around your yard, look around your front grass. We're not talking about raking things out yet. You don't want to disturb that thatch pile. Um, but it's time to really start looking for those pieces of metal, those extra rocks that weren't there last summer, last spring. Um, because we're getting into that time of year where yards are going to start popping just a little bit. We're 6 to 8 weeks out. A lot of you aren't thinking about it, but it's time to start thinking about it. It's time to get those yards cleaned up. Don't clean up. Don't get out there with a rake and start dragging stuff out of the yard. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just looking around the yard and gathering up the miscellaneous that has been plowed into your yard, blown into your yard, um, falling out of trucks, what have you. You're not out there every week to do this stuff, and you don't want to have to, go into springtime with a hardcore cleanup. This is the time to start looking at that. If you have some of this stuff that we've talked about, this would be a good time to get your weed seed killer down. If you're just going out for a walk and your yard's clean and what have you, um, because it's going to give it a chance to really soak in and go after those weed seeds. I know the ground is supposed to be frozen, but we hit 50 here in Cleveland. Um, that's going to give that stuff a chance to soak in, and it's safe. It's animal friendly. So get the weed seed killer down right out of the book. Um, you've got all winter to put that kind of stuff down. If you're in dormancy and you're not planting anything in the next 6 to 8 weeks, it's time to get the weed seed killer down. Stay ahead of yourself. Stay ahead of your neighbors. Stay ahead of the problems. Um, because all this is, and I hate to call it a weed seed killer. It's just a weed killer. It just kills whatever seed it comes in contact with. So if you had something, and a few friends of mine have asked how to knock out certain areas that are just overrun with thistles and what have you, get the weed seed killers down. Don't worry about the plants. Get those seeds wiped out. Um, this is the time of year, and I know some of you are going to have snow there. You're going to have leaves there. You're going to have whatever there. This stuff will soak through. This stuff will work its way through. It'll get down to the ground. It'll get down to those seeds. Um, you just have to get it out there. And you can walk around, and look silly as can be, and just be tossing that stuff out by hand. As you do it all year long, and we're talking little increments. We're not talking about saturating the ground and making it turn yellow. We're just talking about getting a little bit down here and there and everywhere you're working that particular day, and get in and get those seeds dehydrated, broken up, and killed. So, yep, it's cleanup time, everybody. So start looking at your yard, start looking for that stuff you can just pick up and walk away with. Don't do the massive major cleanup. It's not time for that yet. You're going to disturb that thatch level, and any frost that could come in could do damage to the roots and the grass. So don't be looking at that kind of stuff. Um, but yep, book's coming. Still don't have a date. And get out in those yards and get that weed seed killer down. Um, have a great night. We'll talk to you all later.